Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our show, Live at the Fight. So today we have two musicians in our TV station, Bobby, who play percussion, and Joshua, who play sona. So nice to have you two in our show. First of all, I would like you to do a self-introduction so that our audience know better about you. So let's start from Bobby. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Emily. Thanks for having me again. My name is Bobby Ho. I'm the percussion principal for the Toronto Chinese Orchestra. So I like to hit a lot of different things, and they don't hit me back, which is great. I love to make a lot of noise.
Thank you very much for coming back to tell us more about your percussion to the audience. Thank you. And what about our new audience, Joshua? Can you do a self-introduction to our audience?
Hi, Millie. I'm a tax lawyer during the day, and during the nighttime, I do a lot of music. So I'm going to be playing the sona, which is like a cross between an oboe and a trumpet in the Chinese orchestra. And I'll be doing a concerto with the orchestra this Saturday.
That is very great. Nice to meet you. And we want to know more about you two are from Toronto Chinese Orchestra. So we want to know more. How do you use percussion instrument for Bobby in Chinese orchestra? Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. There's actually in the Chinese orchestra, even though as the name says, it's a Chinese orchestra, we use both Chinese and Western instruments. So you're going to see a lot of different, I'm going to show you in a few minutes, but you're going to see a lot of different kinds of Chinese drums. You'll also see the timpanis, Glock, vibraphones, and a lot of different, it depends on the music now because a lot of contemporary composers are using Western instruments as well to get a particular sound. So in terms of the Chinese drums in particular, I can actually show you some right now, actually. So I'm just going to turn my laptop over. And so right here is, we call that a big drum because it's big and it's a drum. So these are made out of wood, and the skin is usually some kind of ox skin, and it has a very loud and booming sound. So I'll just give a quick demonstration.
Nice.
Very big sound. So I have about 3 of these.
Yeah.
Because we have a big drum, we also have a small drum as well.
That's
so
right.
I'm just going to view my laptop. So this little brown drum right here is called a small drum. Very high pitched.
A different sound. Yeah.
And the last thing I would like to show is actually a personal favorite of mine. It's called the paigu, right behind me. So the paigu is a set of 5 pitch drums that we kind of tune to certain pitches. So one of my favorite things about this is that it's very, very showy, very flashy. So I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of these.
Thanks for showing us all different. Thanks for showing us all different percussion. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Bobby. And what about Joshua? How do you involve in Toronto Chinese Orchestra? And also, what is your favorite part about Toronto Chinese Orchestra?
I got started with the Toronto Chinese Orchestra about 6 years ago. The concertmaster at the time was a family friend of mine, and she knew that I played clarinet and oboe. And not very many people play the sona in Ontario, or in Toronto rather, because I think it's so loud that it annoys the neighbors. So I had to learn the instrument in 6 weeks, which was really stressful, but I had some experience with playing oboe, so I had some ability to transfer the skills. And what I like most about playing in the orchestra, of course, is the opportunity to play this music that connects me back to my heritage. Even though I was trained as a Western musician, it's really nice to hear the pentatonic scales and get familiarity with what type of music my ancestors might have listened to many years ago.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Yes, it's definitely very beautiful to see how Western music and Chinese music can combine into something different and special. So what about Bobby? How do you get involved with Chinese music?
Well, it was kind of an accident. Well, not really an accident, but then like when I was like my parents kind of forced me to watch concerts when I was a kid. So I was not between like I'd say 12 years old and 22 years old. My parents like pushed me into listening to the Chinese music in concerts, and I actually hated it to be honest. But then like when around when, like 10 years ago, I joined like a martial arts group called Apex Martial Arts Academy. And one day they started. I saw that they had a drumming team called the Apex Drumming Team that they specialize in lion dance drums. So and I asked them, okay, can I like to join? So they taught me how to play the lion dance drum. So me, our team, and the Toronto Chinese Orchestra shared a lot of community performances around the Chinese New Year. So then one time, Patty Chan, the director of the Toronto Chinese Orchestra, just kind of saw the Apex drumming team performance, and then she said, "Hey Bobby, I really like your performance. Can you write something like that for the Chinese orchestra?" So then, yeah, I wrote something without any knowledge of any Chinese formal Chinese music. I kind of, like looking back, it wasn't the best piece, but that's how I kind of nudged my way in to
Mhm.
become part of the Toronto Chinese Orchestra.
Yeah. That is very good. I mean, knowing nothing about Chinese music and also create something that is related to Chinese music, that's very amazing and good for you. I mean, definitely, I think you are doing a great job in percussion as well.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. What about Joshua? So, if you want to, let's say, if you need to recommend some people to learn Chinese instruments, which one should you pick?
Well, I think you should listen to a lot of the Chinese instruments on YouTube or come to our concert on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be able to see the different types of instruments that there are. So we have a bowed string section where there are erhus and zhenghus, which would be kind of like a violin or a viola in the Western orchestra. And then we have the pluck string section, which would sort of be like a guitar, that sort of thing. And then we have the wind instruments. Uh, Similar to flutes and oboes, and of course the percussion as well. But they're all their own Chinese versions of them, and just see what catches your fancy. And for me, I really like playing sona because I get to play a lot of solo lines, melody lines, kind of like a trumpet in the Western orchestra.
Thank you very much, Joshua. And yes, definitely people can look into the Chinese orchestra concert on Saturday night to know more about different types of Chinese music or musical instruments that you can choose to play in a Chinese concert. Okay, so what are the biggest challenge you encounter being a player of Chinese percussion, Bobby?
Biggest challenges of being a Chinese percussionist was it's not so much it has to do with being a Chinese percussionist in Ontario. So the thing is because it's still a kind of a growing identity and growing art form. There's not a lot of people that I can learn from because this is just something I had to in order for me to kind of learn from um, uh, to learn more about the instruments, I actually have to go all the way to Taiwan, China, or British Columbia, where it's a little bit more evolved of practice. So another challenging thing is because I also have students as well, and then because they look for me for further instruction. In order for me to kind of expand my knowledge, like in order for them to expand their knowledge, I have to grow as a professional myself. So it's just like not having a resource for me to look to in Toronto makes it a little bit more challenging. But in terms of like being a part of the orchestra, the other challenges I have, it has more to do with more the administrative aspect of being the percussion leader, because like a lot of the times when I'm performing at a show, I'm usually not playing the part that I'm prepared for. So one of the challenges we had this coming concert, because with the whole COVID situation, we had a lot of members getting COVID, and then they were not able to attend the rehearsal. One of the members isn't even sure that she's able to attend the actual concert. So, but I have to kind of find ways to kind of fill them in, so to make sure that we still have the full sound of the percussion section. But I think we're managing pretty well so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. For the COVID thing, it definitely makes the situation tougher for a concert or for our entire group to perform. So, and I think right now it's getting better, and everyone can gather together and playing the music together. So right now it's much better, the situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bobby. And what about Joshua? The final question for you will be any musical goals that you have in the future?
I would love to get better at the cello. I started learning it during when COVID happened, and then I haven't been practicing it so much recently. So I would love to get back into it and keep on improving my skills and maybe learn some new instruments after that.
Thank you very much, Joshua, and thank you very much, Bobby, for sharing your own musical experience, especially the Chinese musical instrument that with all of us in this TV show. And we would like to congratulate you a very good performance this Saturday night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
so much.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.